G'day, Vlad here. How's it going, mate? So today we're going to be covering my benchmark game where I reached 1100 for the first time, and I thought I'd go over my Petard rush and how to do it while I'm here. So first thing I do is I build the two buildings, and then I put 7 villages on sheep. So we'll speed up. There we go. So we've got 7 villages on sheep, then I send one villager to build a lumber camp, and then the next villager to build 2 houses next to the boar. So that villager will later lure this boar, but in the meantime we make sure there's 5 villagers on wood. And when this villager finishes this house, this villager will lure that boar. There we go. So by the time this villager lures this boar, there should be 5 villagers on wood. So when the boar hits the line of the TC, that's when I send the villagers from the sheep to hunt the boar. And usually I get these to go to the town centre, drop off the goods, hunt the sheep, and then hop back on the boar. As you can see, there's 5 on wood. So I put the rest on food until it's time to get my second boar. So I just want this boar to come in before this one's eaten up. There we go. So then I lure this second boar. I send 7 villagers from there to kill this boar. And then once I get my 2 boars, I want 7 villagers to go build a Pole's unique building mill. I forget what they're called here near the deer. So I make a bit of a mistake here. I sent my villagers over here, but I'll fix that mistake as we go. So once 7 are going to be building that building and hunting the deer, I send 3 to stone. There we go. So he goes to stone. And from here I want to make sure that there's 8 on wood, so I send 3 over to wood to put that up to 8. I make sure 3 are on stone, and then the rest of my vills up until 28 pop will be on food. So these ones will hunt the deer and then build farms. I'll have 3 on boar and sheep, and then the rest go on berries until I get to 28 pop. So we'll speed that right up. And that is pretty much the dark age for me. On hitting 28 pop, I hit the feudal age button and go up. When I got enough food and gold, I queue 1 villager but gets directed at stone, and then I get loom. So we'll speed up until we actually hit the feudal. So on feudal age, the next villager goes to stone, or should go to stone. That was an accident there. The villagers that were hunting sheep, once they're done, go to stone. When I get within range of 800 in food, all villagers except for the one that picks berries go to stone. So we should have 8 on wood, 7 farmers, 1 on berries, and then 12 on stone. So what I accidentally fast forwarded to is 2 woodcutters build a blacksmith and 2 build a market, and then they go straight back to wood. And that gets you to castle age. When we hit about halfway to castle age, we should get 750 stone, enough to drop a castle and build a second TC. So we want to get to the stone pile as close to castle age as possible. So he scouted me, so that's not ideal, but it's good enough, I guess. These villages are all loomed. So he's got a couple of spears, and I find out there's nowhere good to drop the castle. I'd want to drop it here, but this one tree's in the way. So unfortunately I've got to drop it right off to the stone. You've got to drop it on the stone pile though. So the Pole's villagers will mine stone for a second castle while simultaneously getting gold. So I got a little bit delayed here because I was fighting spearmen, but I usually like to build the second TC as soon as I hit Castle Age 2. So first TC will be sending villagers to stone, the second one will be sending villagers to wood. You want to keep both TCs pumping, and you want to keep creating constant petards. So in terms of the villager count, we are neck and neck. He's already building a defensive castle, and I'm building a stone mine so those villagers can get straight to work. So this is a very common defense you'll get at about 1000 elo, a little bit below, and it's pretty much exactly best case scenario for a petard push. Defensive castle and a wall. So that wall means nothing to me because I plan on taking out the castle anyway. You don't want your opponent to have castles if he's hitting Imperial Age before you. They're just too hard to take down and they can build trebs. So as you can see, I'm keeping both TCs pumping and I'm creating petards. Okay, so at the moment I've got a bit of a villager lead. I'm up to 35, he's up to 29. So he was probably just distracted trying to get his castle defense up. He's probably anticipating me hitting him with petards and running in with cavalry, which I'm not going to do. Alright. Speed things up a little. So I've been using my market to keep enough food to keep pumping out 2 villages and a petard. Market abuse is pretty necessary early Castle Age for this strategy. 1 TC going to wood, which also I take the ones off wood when I've got too much wood and make farms. Second one to stone. So I've almost got enough for another castle, at which stage I'll be trying to get 2 castles pumping petards and 2 TCs pumping villages. So I want to build my castle here. I don't know that one exists yet. Oh no, we've got a bit of a problem. Doesn't matter. Lost a couple of views, that sort of matters, but I'll just delete that castle there. And I'll build it here. At this stage he's probably thinking, what is this idiot doing building a castle there? I could build it anywhere here and sort of trap him in, make him feel uncomfortable, but that's not the point. The point is I want a lot of petards here so I can take out this castle and hopefully a TC after the castle. And if I'm lucky, I'll take out the castle as it's going up to Imperial Age, but that's sort of dream scenario. That's enough petards there. So here we go. Will this work? Let's have a look. I put it in slow motion for dramatic effect. Watch the health of this castle. Oh, nope, where's my petards? Dead. With 6 petards left to go, let's put it back on speed. So I do get a TC out, unfortunately. It's not researching Imperial Age. That's okay. So there we go. So at this stage, I know he's Teutons. I know there's a good chance he doesn't have a second castle, so I want to get some Orboks together. Maybe with some petards to just take out buildings. And I'm just hoping he's rushing to Imperial Age so I'll have the military numbers. And I want to hit him right about when he hits Imperial Age, because then I know he's already spent 1000 food, 800 gold, and will be a little bit weaker than me. So he's rebuilding his initial TC, which I didn't think he'd do. I sort of expected he'd have 2 other TCs, which he does. And I just expect him to use the 2 TCs. But this is good for me because I'm not concerned with him building another TC, because I won't let him boom, because you know the attack's already started. So he's going for Imperial Age. He's about a quarter of the way up, and it looks like he's going for some knights. Speed up. I'm going for Orboks to counter his unique civilization attributes of having 1 extra armor on infantry and cavalry. So these Oboks are good against his cavalry, they're good against Teutonic knights, they're cheap enough to not worry about them getting converted. They're just a good all-round unit, especially when the opposition doesn't have archers. And Teutons have pretty mediocre ranged weapons. So at this point, I'm feeling very, very confident. Even though he's a better player, I probably just surprised him with a strategy that he wasn't expecting. And there you have it. There's my benchmark game. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what struck you about this game, what I could improve, what I could do better. Something you like, something you disliked, whatever. Just jot it down there. And before I leave you, I'll just have a quick look through the stats. So military-wise, I won. Economy-wise, mixed bag. Technology-wise, he got to every age faster than me. He captured a few relics. This is one stat that was heavily in my favour. 107 villages to 67. And he got to Imperial age. He was probably a little bit slowed down to get there due to my Petard attack, and he was probably trying to get there earlier than me because I wanted to get the military advantage. So all in all, he was probably a better player. He had the disadvantage of a bad civilization matchup and coming up against a strategy that is hard to defend against if you don't know what's coming. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.